return for the Catalan Dragons. They've never won at Headingley before, but they hadn't won at St Helens either until 4 weeks ago. Can the fairy tale continue all the way to Old Trafford, or are the Rhinos on their way there again? This is the way the sides will line up. Webb, Donald, Smith, Senior, Hall, Maguire and Burrow for the Rhinos. Up front, it's Lulawai, Diskin, Peacock, Jones, Buchanan, Ablett and Sinfield, the skipper. And on the bench, it's Bailey, Kirk, Burgess and Simon Worrell. There is no place for Ali Lautiti. He is out, he is sick. And the coach is Brian McLennan. For the Dragons, unchanged for the fourth week in a row, Greenshields, Duport, Bragan, Philippe Bale, Pello, Mogg, Bosk. Forwards, Riles, Maguire, Guisset, Elima, Gossard, Bird, who is the skipper. And the bench, it's occupied by Ferriol, Carlaw, Tuxagas, Casti, and the coach is Kevin Walters. So here they are, the Catalan Dragons, the team that finished 8th in the table. They've lost more games than they won in the weekly rounds, 14 victories and 13 defeats. Never before in their brief history have they won 4 consecutive away games, but if they achieve that tonight, they'll be at Old Trafford. But the Leeds Rhinos will make it to the grand final for a 6th time if they win. And Kevin Sinfield knows the importance of the next 88 minutes. It would equal St Helens' 6 grand finals, but the Saints could make it 7 in the match against Wigan tomorrow. And if they won next week, it would be a record 3rd Super League title in the row from their 4th grand final win, but only if they win here and get through to the Theatre of Dreams. The teams emerge, and before the match there will be a few minutes of sadness really, and the build-up to the game will be slightly muted from the players and the fans' point of view, because the match tonight has been dedicated to the memory of a legend of the Leeds club who died earlier this week. John Holmes and many of his former teammates are out there on the pitch tonight to pay their own tribute as well. He was widely regarded as the most gifted player ever to pull on the club's famous jersey. And John Holmes made his debut at 16 years of age, and he made his final appearance 21 years and 625 games later. He won every domestic honour with Leeds, appearing in 19 finals, and unbelievably, he won 14 of them. He was the standoff in Great Britain's 1972 World Cup winning side, and coincidentally, it's almost 40 years to the day that he played as a 17-year-old fullback in a Leeds team that defeated the French champions Perpignan on this ground to decide the European Club Championship of the day. John Holmes will be remembered by a minute's silence in a few seconds. And John Holmes, the announcement came on Sunday here at Headingley when the Leeds Rhinos were making their choice in the club call. And all these old players who played with John Holmes are there lined up across the field to celebrate the life of a true Leeds legend.
And he still holds the record for points scored on a debut. In total, he scored 1,554 points for Leeds, which puts him 4th in the club's all-time list of points scorers. He won the League Championship in 1972, the Challenge Cup in 1977 and 78, and the Premiership in 1979. He won the John Player Trophy twice and the Yorkshire Cup on 7 occasions. He made 20 appearances for Great Britain. He played in 2 World Cups, and he also represented England and Yorkshire in a career that spanned 4 decades. Tonight, we're joined by over 100 of John's former teammates, the Leeds Board of Directors, and members of John's family. So would you please join with us for the Leeds Sevens to remember true Leeds hero, John Holmes.
John Holmes. And while remember, John, just a thought for a loyal fan of Leeds who also passed away this week. David Zack was a fan of Leeds for over 60 years, and all of us at Sky Sports send our condolences to his family, his wife Linda, his 2 children and his 4 grandchildren. Well, they have to clear the field of the 100 or so former greats of the Leeds Rhinos, but Steve-O, I know that that was a poignant moment for you, of course, because John was a teammate of yours in the '72 World Cup winning side.
He was a tremendous man, and a sad loss to our game, and all we can do is just say rest in peace. He was a tremendous rugby league football player. He had so much class and so much quality, and there's David Ward, of course, escorting Harry Jepson. And Harry Jepson, rightly so, was quoted this week as saying that if there was to be one legend that would be remembered in the Leeds colours, then it would be John Holmes. A great tribute to a very, very wonderful man. As I say, rest in peace.
And let's hope the Leeds Rhinos do his memory credit here tonight. I'm sure that the game will certainly live up to all pre-match billing and all pre-match expectations. So it's the Catalan Dragons who will get this game underway, although the former stars have formed a huddle around the players' entrance. They're having a bit of difficulty getting off the field. Such a great number of them. So many former greats there. Caught a glimpse of Kevin Dick as well. And of course, you mentioned Harry Jepson, Steve-O. 90 years of age, Harry, next February.
Yeah, tremendous. His memory goes back, and as I think that is a wonderful tribute to think that all the great players that have played on this hallowed turf here at Headingley, and there's been some tremendous rugby league stars throughout, but the poise and quality of the man John Holmes will always be remembered. A tremendous rugby league player.
Right, back to the present, and a place at Old Trafford is up for grabs in the next 80 minutes. Danny Maguire underneath the kickoff, Jamie Peacock with the first drive forward, and as we've seen over the past month or so, some resolute Catalan Dragons defence on show very early in the piece here. I wonder whether the tactics from Leeds Rhinos will be to try and run the Dragons off their feet early.
Well, I think so. They don't want to be put into an arm wrestle like we saw the Giants did with them last week. Brian McLennan's too smart for that, but in the first run from Jamie Peacock, I tell you something, Oliver Ellimer came off second best. He looks as though he's a little bit groggy from that. He's not 100%. Kicking early.
Rob Burrow with a deep kick, and Clint Greenshields just stops it going over the sideline, just about 6-7 yards away from the touchline on this near side. There is Casey Maguire, Greenshields and Maguire both hoping to make it into the French national side, and that was the first challenge on Jamie Peacock, and certainly the bones were rattling as far as that was concerned. Here is Maguire again, gives it infield to Jason Riles, such an important member of this Catalan Dragons side, Riles.
You made the point, Eddie, that what sort of tactics would Leeds come up with? I think they gave you the answer. Very early, it's a great break. Oh, good ankle tap. It had to be. Bird was through.
But he keeps it going to Casey Maguire. Maguire then gets it through to Mogg.
I'm just making that point that the Rhinos kicking early in the tackle count. They don't want to arm wrestle. They want to kick it. They want to give themselves plenty of space.
Thomas Bosch will hoist a high kick, and that's a towering bomb, and Greenshield is after this. Oh, and it has been knocked backwards and forwards rather by Brent Webb, and they have another set of 6 here, the Catalan Dragons. Here they come. This is Cyril Gossard. Leeds are caught offside. Catalan Dragons have a penalty. This isn't in the Leeds script.
It was an amazing high kick, and we wondered whether perhaps the nerves, and they've gone for the quick tap, but the nerves, Brent Webb came up with the error.
It's Jerome Guisset, 2 metres away from the Leeds Rhinos try line. Maguire is the dummy half. He gives it to Thomas Bosch. They go wide. Here comes Greenshields again, trying to go inside Danny Maguire. Maguire and Ablett stop him. Now a drive forward here by Oliver Ellimer. And Ellimer is held up by the Leeds defence. That's tackle number 3. Maguire waits again. Catalan Dragons looking to get off to the perfect start. They find Bosk. Here is Mogg. And Mogg gets the dummy. And Leeds scramble back and cut him down. Maguire waits again. Maguire gives the ball away. Big hit by Keith Senior on Cyril Gossard. This is Bosk again. That ricocheted off. That played the man, not the other way round. Maguire. That's Ragan. But they ran behind the man, did Sebastian Ragan. That's obstruction. And Leeds breathe a bit of a sigh of relief.
They certainly do. And it was just a bit of poor play, not thinking on it. It was a great break by Bird, wasn't it? Just got the ankle tap to him. Good job they did as well. Well, they're really on fire. And then this was a mistake by Webb. Not the best attempt, the nerves coming into it. We expected it from the Catalan side, not from the home outfit.
I think we can see straight away early on the Catalans, the indicator for them is Flint Greenshields, you know, be it for a kick or shifting both sides of the rope. You know, he's on the edges.
Peacock tries to get through the first line of defence. Bird got him low down, with Brian McLennan looking anxiously on. We saw him in the build-up to this match. He looked a little bit nervous, did Brian. Knows just how high the stakes are here tonight. Burrow is the dummy half, gets it away. This is Lee Smith. Whoa, big hit. And Bird puts him on the deck. And there's a bit of a wrestle there between Bird and Smith. Ablett took a bit of an exception to that. This is Luluai. Luluai breaks through, but Gise is there. Problem for Maguire. He limps away as Sinfield hoists the high kick now. That's into the Yorkshire Knighter. Who is after this? Vincent Duport. And he collects it easily. And Vincent Duport makes a little half break.
Boy, was he cool there, under lots of pressure from Brent Webb. He just brushed him away like a fly. They're up for this in the French outfit. You can sense it. There's a lot of aggression in their play. Pushing and shoving.
This is Riles. Jason Riles, he was certainly at his best at Huddersfield last week. He topped the tackle count there. That's Gossard, just couldn't get the pass away. Senior with the tackle. Maguire. Here is Gise. Luluai watched him, but he still got the ball away. Good quick hands. This is Mogg. Mogg trying to come up the middle. Plays the ball. Maguire. Bosk. They're running it wide. Ball is dropped, but it went forward.
Well, they're not frightened to keep it alive, are they? Obviously, Kevin Walters, their coach, has said, look, get the opportunity. You could see they were turning into the tackle. And I must say, this Leeds outfit, their defence is not as strong as what we've seen over the past month.
Well, the Dragons certainly don't want to go back to the south of France wondering what if. What if I'd thrown the pass? What if I'd pushed harder to support the ball carrier? Kevin Sinfield having some treatment there for some facial wound perhaps, but certainly strong start for Catalan. They have to be in this game as a contest at half-time to stand any chance, Eddie. First 40 crucial as the first marker.
It's this swarming defence, though. That ball has ricocheted away, and Senior's got all sorts of problems here, but he comes up, I think, and manages to hang on to the football for the Leeds Rhinos, and there's a bit of a face-off then with Casey Maguire, and Maguire really put one in then on Ryan Hall.
It's getting rough, it's getting tough, and this is exactly how the French outfit want it to be. They want to get right into the ribs. Leeds cannot afford to get sucked in. They've got to get back to the game plan. They're just a little bit off colour at the moment.
Maguire's kick downfield is picked up by Clint Greenshields. There is Kevin Walters in the lucky red top that he's had for the past 3 weeks on match nights as they've made their way to this qualifying semi-final. What an offload that was. Here's Dimitri Pello.
Well, there's certainly no lack of big game experience with the Dragons. They're 5 players who've played in and won a grand final in Australia, and I think they've set the tone here. We have to start quickly.
They have started quickly. This is as impressive as they have been in the playoffs. It's Riles again.
3 great wins on the trot. That builds the confidence.
Go.
He'll play it there, does Riles to Maguire. This is Bosk, and he finds Mogg. Oh, and that was put to ground.
Do you know, it's the first error that we've seen for the last month with the way that Greenshields comes through. He was very flat on that. He normally comes at pace. Look at the offload there from the big fella. Big fella Jean-Philippe Bale gets it away, and Dimitri Pello has been in outstanding form.
Well, Kevin Sinfield's got the head bandage and he's complaining about something to referee Richard Silverwood. We've seen Danny Maguire treated on the run. Down to Bill.
Eddie, no doubt that the Catalan Dragons are pumped up for this one. They really are going to throw everything at Leeds Rhinos early on, as evidenced by Ollie Eller's first charge of the game, which got completely wrong. Went to clean out Jamie Peacock, cleaned out himself instead. But even to the point, they are so pumped up that they take Ali Lauatiti's leaving out of being left out by Leeds tonight as a personal insult. They're convinced that Leeds have taken the view that they can afford to rest him for next week's grand final. That is how pumped up the Dragons are, and you saw it how pumped up Greg Bird is. He has really been putting himself around already this evening, and already they've won possession back.
They have. It was a massive hit on Jamie Peacock.
Jerome Guisset went straight into him over the top, couldn't control it. Well, Leeds got to get themselves sorted out. They've got to get back to basics. Bird's away again.
The pass once more goes to ground, though. Leeds have it back.
I think the problem for Greg Bird is he's too good for some of his teammates. If they want to progress to the grand final, one or two of them need to be able to read him more here. And any chances he creates have to be converted into points.
This is Keith Senior.
Big error there, though. They really shouldn't have offloaded it under panic there. Ablett just got his fingertips to it. Went backwards. Good refereeing by Silverwood.
Casey Maguire couldn't get to the ball. This is Matt Diskin away from Ragan. Gives it then to Maguire.
And again, you see this Catalan defence out wide in the centres. They're coming quickly. Oh, they're giving away a penalty.
He's all over the top of Danny Maguire.
Well, it's been deployed from the Catalans throughout Super League this year. They've tried to keep them down as long as they can. This is he lost the ball from Peacock. Anyway, Guisset, it was just the impact on the ball carrying arm. Now then, Leeds, they've got to settle down. A couple of drives and then maybe a link. It's been so successful for them this year.
Diskin to Luluai. There's the first drive, halted by Jason Riles and Cyril Gossard. Diskin, here is Peacock. Pops it back then to Burrow. Burrow goes inside a couple, ducks underneath three. Great play from Rob Burrow, halted by Bird's tackle in the end.
That'll lift them.
Diskin wants to get on with it quickly, asking the referee to tell him to get off the grounded player. Here is Lee Smith. Smith is halted by Pello and also Olivier Elima. Diskin again. Short pass finds Peacock. Peacock with a drive to the line. Dumps the ball back then to Maguire. Maguire steps out of one challenge. Can't get away from the second effort. We'll play it here to Diskin. And Diskin fires the pass flat and finds Luluai. Good hit by the Catalan Dragons defence. It's Diskin, it's Maguire! And Maguire stretches out.
Knock on. Good positioning there by the official, Silverwood. Neat little set though from Maguire, and then just reached out and lost it. It was just short anyway. It was worth the opportunity. Flat, but look at that. Mogg knew it was coming. Crunch time. Boy, there's some hard hits out there tonight.
Grand final at stake. A week tomorrow at the Theatre of Dreams. Leeds, the league leaders. Catalan in 8th place at the end of the weekly rounds. This match, the result of the club call, where Leeds had to choose their opposition. They went for the lowest ranked team. The lowest ranked team that was left, and that's the Catalan Dragons, who finished 8th. But they don't look like a team that finished 8th in the opening 11 minutes today.
No, they'll be very happy with the fact as well they've got an extra penalty. Messing around, Silverwood. He's pretty adept with the whistle, isn't he, this man? And if you mess around, and that's exactly what they did. Bird wanted to get on with it. Peacock says you're not going to. But the mere fact that the Catalans have made 2 clean breaks through what is normally a very strong defence down the middle by the Rhinos, and that'll lift their spirits.
Here they come with Elima, the new French international captain for the Four Nations at the end of the domestic season. Maguire, and Riles will drive it in. Good tackle low down that was by Carl Ablett. Maguire once again. Quick play, the ball by the Dragons, and here is Thomas Bosk. And they've got it back, Leeds, and away goes Brent Webb. Brent Webb has got some pace. Brent Webb has got tremendous pace. He has Donald in support. Maybe should have given it to Donald. Now he will be tackled.
It was good play by Pello, though. Pello did the right thing. He made sure he got there on the inside. Now then, what's happened? He's got to give a penalty here. They're messing around. I think you might have a little word here. So certainly looked like a professional foul to me.
Eddie, that's remarkable. You know, the commitment there from Catalan, I didn't think they were quick enough to prevent tries like that tonight. If they can deny Leeds' efforts like that, they've got a chance of winning this match. I didn't believe it before the game. Now I do.
12 and a half minutes gone. Leeds penalty, 20 metres out. What can they do here? It's Luluai. Diskin waits again. Little signal behind the back. They give it to Burrow. Burrow then pops it up to Jamie Jones-Buchanan. He's grounded by Mogg. Diskin once again. Sinfield. Back it comes to Maguire. There's space here for Leeds. Maguire! Great try! Danny Maguire just jinked his way through the line. The Catalan Dragons appealing for something that they believe that the referee and his officials didn't see. But Danny Maguire comes up with a try, the 180th try of his career. And that's the 10th try he scored against the Catalan Dragons since 2006.
Well, this is the incident. Did it come off a Leeds player? I think it might have. The impact from Maguire didn't go forward in the first instance before it popped up to Webb. Either way, they've got themselves into position. They gave away the penalty, and it was sheer quality from Danny Maguire. This is a beautiful step. They thought he was going to throw it. It was a dummy, and then just off the right boot. Silence, he says. That was quality. He needed it. Fantastic play. Watch this. I'm going that way. Uh-oh. Philippe Bale had no idea. He did.
Well, we remembered John Holmes before the match, and that was a try that the great John Holmes would have been so proud of. Danny Maguire, and a personal career milestone for him, the 180th of his career. Here comes the blood-spattered Kevin Sinfield to try and add the extras, and he does. And Leeds Rhinos, well, they have weathered a massive French storm. They lead 6-0.
We always knew when it comes to the business end of this competition that he was going to take something pretty good. Now then, was there a touch of a hand here? Did Maguire get a hand to this? I think he did. That should have been a knock-on, should not have been continued. Soon as Maguire hits the ball and it hits Jean-Philippe Bale, that has to be classified as a knock-on. It has not been picked up by the officials, and I'm afraid the French outfit have paid the price. Though they've got the ball, yes. What a kick-off.
Tremendous restart from Thomas Bosk. He's annoyed, is Danny Maguire. Went to trap it with the foot, see, a bit of an air shot, and then Diskin had no chance.
Well, Brian McLennan will be very pleased by the fact that this man in your picture has scored the vital try, but he won't be too impressed by the fact that he didn't try to go for it with his hands. I think he could have. Very lazy indeed.
This is Adam Mogg. Adam Mogg out wide they go. It is a try for Vincent Duport. They have hit back immediately. The kickoff was magnificent. Maguire could not defuse it. Diskin lost it as well, and from the resulting scrum, Catalan Dragons first tackle over in the corner on the other side. Vincent Duport, try against Wakefield in the playoffs. It was his first since March against Leeds here. He's returned to Headingley and he's silenced this big crowd. The Catalan Dragons aren't just here to make up the numbers.
They certainly aren't, Teddy. They're absolutely up for it, and it was from hero to zero, wasn't it? Maguire basking in the glory of scoring the try. Should have gone with the fingers there. Went to try to trap it, and they have paid that price. And once again, beautiful play by Mogg. Just sucked the centre senior in enough, and Duport says, I'm going to have this. No one's going to stop me. Watch out, Senior just hesitates. He thought that Greenshields was coming in. That's a ploy that the French do all the time, but on this occasion, he just misses him out. Adam Mogg says Greenshields not this time. His name is Duport, and he's got the 4 as Duport.
I think there we see Adam Mogg, what such an inspirational player he is for Catalan. You know, he's one of those players who seems to have all the time in the world, and they just played with the Leeds defence and a great ball to Duport.
Well, Thomas Bosk, kicker of some quality. This to level it. He's pushed it though in front of the post. 6-4. Leeds Rhinos, but the response from the Catalan Dragons for their fans watching in the stands, the response was immediate. Vincent Duport, the 20-year-old, 2 times a French international. Well, Kevin Walters has not just come all the way from the south of France for the 3rd week in a row in these playoffs. Trains, planes and automobiles just to make the numbers up.
Well, we've seen more excitement in 17.5 minutes, Eddie, than we've seen for quite some time. This is just outstanding rugby league from both sides.
Vincent Duport only managed 2 tries in the regular weekly rounds. In these playoffs, he's managed 2 tries already. They certainly raise the stakes, don't they, the players, when we get to the business end of the season. 18 minutes gone. 6-4 to Leeds, but the Dragons in possession here with Greg Bird once again. Controversial signing for the Catalan Dragons on a 9-month contract. He would love to get to the Engage Super League Grand Final. Riles with a brilliant offload after a bump in the tackle. Here is Adam Mogg.
Well, for one moment, I thought there that Riles was going to go down because it was such a big hit. He dipped all right, but he wanted to get the ball away, and he did. Another high one.
Yes, Brent is chasing this. Brent Webb, and he collects it, but then slips. And it allows the on-rushing Catalan Dragons players to have him.
Boy, he would have been very nervous seeing that white ball coming down to him. The good tactics as well by Catalan, because the lights here are very, very high in each corner. So they're getting the ball nearly as high as the light, so it's difficult for Brent Webb. There you can see it. It's a real sparkle in your eyes, isn't it?
Peacock. 120th appearance tonight for the Leeds Rhinos, Jamie Peacock. Kylie Luluai now, his 3rd season in Super League, and he hasn't missed a grand final yet. Last tackle though, great defensive stint this by the French. Kick from Sinfield is high, it's sliced. And Pello is underneath it. His try last week against Huddersfield, one of the great tries in the playoffs this year. David Ferriol. Just on the field, Ferriol, substitute. Plays it to Maguire. Here is Greg Bird again. Greg Bird, a tough year for him. He's flitted back and forth between France and Australia. The UK border agency said no to a work permit with Bradford, so he signed on for the Catalan Dragons across the channel in France, and as they say, the rest is history. Maguire. Mogg. That was not the best pass, but Greenshields carried the movement on, gave it to Sébastien Raguin. This is the last tackle. Ferriol. Oh, they went out to the line on Ferriol. Ball is lost backwards and Greenshield hacks it forward, and that will be a 20-metre restart.
Well, he fooled them all, and I think he may have fooled some of his own players as well. Was that a drag from Webb? Either way, he saved the day. I think that was dragged out by Brent Webb, which perhaps should have been play on. Greenshield got the boot to it.
Well, the referee obviously deemed it not to be a knock-on because he started with the restart, tap restart on the 20.
Yeah, he thought that
it just a simple turnover.
He just thought he'd lost it, but I think it was reefed out. It was certainly helped. A bit too strong anyway from Greenshields. And I just got the impression when Catalan, silly play. Should have gone away a lot quicker than that. He's very keen, isn't he, with a whistle on anything messing around at the play the ball area. He wanted to get on with it. Took Sagaz, Ferriol. Irritated the man, Richard Silverwood.
Let's work off the rook. Listen to the move.
This is Maguire to restart. Diskin, Peacock with the drive in. It's going to be physical tonight, there's no question of that. We've seen in the opening 21.5 minutes, both sides have set the table out. Maguire finds its way to Ryan Hall. Good hit by Casey Maguire.
Well, they're the tactics that Leeds have to employ. They've got to keep the ball out wide as quickly as possible. Though the Catalans have gone to a man-on-man defence, not doing a short sliding defence at this point in time. Can't afford it when you're so close.
Peacock, back he comes to Maguire, then to Brent Webb.
Surrender! Stand up 4!
Ellimer with the tackle. Here is Sinfield. Finds Maguire. Little kick through from Maguire. Could be a try over on that far side, could it?
I think he's lost it.
Wants to hand it upstairs. Is it Lee Smith who thinks he's grounded?
I think he may have lost it. Was it squeezed out? It was a beautiful little kick through that onside. Maguire's running hot down that right-hand side. Beautiful little trick. Watch it. Dribble through. Havlicek can't get to it, but Smith is there. Now then, what happens? He loses it. That's a knock-on. Well, the chances are coming. And in these tight games, you want to try to get points on the board. He just loses control. The impact from Greenshields and Pello was sufficient. Did the right thing, though, did Scott Donald. He always plays to the whistle. Now then, are they looking? Phil Bentham is the video referee. Is he looking to see whether it was stringed out? I don't think it was. And then we'll go for no try.
Yes, 20-metre restart. Lee Smith apparently fully recovered. And Brian McLennan and Kevin Walters. They look the coolest men in Headingley tonight, but I bet they're not. But if you had a heart monitor on them, it would be going through the roof right now. The price and the prize is so big tonight. The grand final beckons next Saturday, 5:30. We'll be with you, Sky Sports 1, HD1, for the climax of the domestic season.
Well, Kevin Walters, the Catalan's coach, will get the message out. Let's just calm it down a little bit now. It was a pretty exciting opening from the visitors.
Well, if that's not a grapple tackle by Ryan Bailey, I don't know what is.
Well, Mr. Silverwood agrees with you.
I tell you what, Greg Bird must be strong. He's just taken 3 of Leeds forwards, 5 metres upfield, whilst they tend to grot him. Look, from the point of contact there, there's 2 in there, then the 3, they get to 4, he's still going forward.
You're right, but let's hope they don't have a piece of wire out there, Phil.
Ellimer for the Catalan Dragons.
First, move, hold, trapped.
Good referee.
Maguire gives it to Riles. There is Bird. Now it's Mogg. Greenshields on the loop, and he finds Ragan. He's through the first tackle. Here is Vincent Duport again. They've got some problems out wide, Leeds, when they get into Duport and Pello.
Oh, he nearly knocked on there, Duport. I think he may have, actually. But he's not the fastest winger, but boy, look at the size of him.
Chukshagas.
Release.
Chukshagas gets to his feet, plays it to Maguire. Mogg again. Back it comes to Bosch. Bosch then fires the pass inside. Elliman was watched all the way by Lee Smith. Mogg again, they go down the left. Here is Greenshields, Ablett and Sinfield in quickly.
Good defence, very disciplined to the Rhinos in that far corner. They had to be.
Last tackle here. Here is Mogg. The ball goes high into the corner, looking for Duport again. Well claimed. Well claimed by Ryan Hall. Might be Super League's top try scorer this year, but he was a defender-in-chief then.
Cine did well, didn't he? Just put himself a little bit of a blocking. Make sure he didn't make contact with him. It's all about the experience, and boy, Leeds are going to have to dig for plenty of that tonight. They're in a very tight game indeed.
Keith Senior, this is his 21st playoff match tonight, so he comes of age. That's a big penalty and a silly penalty to give away. All the work was done, and Ferriol just had another tug at Ryan Bailey's ankle.
And to be fair to Bailey, he did the right thing. He made it quite clear he wanted to get on with it. Rather than just submit it easy, he wanted to get right involved. Blood spattered on the skipper. Left eyebrow obviously been split open.
Let's go down to Bill.
Eddie, interesting confrontation there between Rodney Howe and one of his players, Greg Bird. As Greg Bird was approaching Richard Silverwood, Rodney Howe, who's the conditioner for the Catalans, came on and said he was coming off. Greg Bird told him, "I'm not, you know." And Rodney Howe left the field.
Greg Bird is still out there. Sinfield, they come up the middle. Oh, Rakan read that brilliantly.
Unbelievable. It looked as though he'd knocked on and then got on with it. Well, if he was messing around on the one before, it certainly was on that occasion. Bird gets it away.
Great offload again from Bird, but that's good scrambling defence from Leeds on Thomas Bosk.
What a take there. Unbelievable, wasn't it? Sebastian Ragan gets them going yet again. Now, the kicking game from Catalan has not been so good of late. Ooh, that looked high. Diskin. He said it got him on the chest. Well, he certainly touched the chest to start with.
Well, the referee now wants a word with Kevin Sinfield. He had a word with Greg Bird after the last penalty that went the Leeds way. This is the Catalan penalty and a little word in the ear of the skipper.
Okay. Don't want to be blowing this whistle all night. It's a playoff game. Let's get it going a bit. Okay, let's go and speak to him. Need an improvement. I tackle first.
Well, no, Richard Silver was right. We don't want him blowing this whistle all night. He's absolutely spot on.
Yeah, and not only that, he has given Leeds the clue to what they should not be doing. In other words, don't get brought into an arm wrestle and see how tough we are. When they give away silly penalties.
When they last played the Dragons in June, Eddie, and they lost in the South of France, Leeds conceded 11 penalties, quite a few of them for high tackles. So more recently, they've improved their discipline in terms of penalties conceded, but it's just creeping back a little bit tonight.
It's 5-4, the penalty count in Leeds' favour. They've had 5, the Dragons have had 4 so far. Here is Adam Mogg. Mogg, cut down by Diskin, plays the ball quickly to Ragan. And Sebastian Ragan, halted by his opposite number, Jones Buchanan. Maguire down the short side, back on the inside to Tuxagas. Here is Ragan! Ragan gets to the line, but he's held up by 3 defenders.
It's a good job he was lunging there, wasn't he? Very close, not the best play of the ball. That'll be the scrum down. Not happy, Kevin Walters. He's every right to feel that way, the centre. Ragan has made a right meal of it. Bit harsh, perhaps, and he knows it.
Well, that's about the second penalty we've seen in as many weeks for touching the ball with the foot and knocking it forward.
Heads in, Kev.
I think the reason we need to explain why the play of the ball has to be done correctly, because it's a way of self-regulating the speed of which the game restarts. And if players are just allowed to roll it back without touching with the foot, they do that quicker, there isn't the emphasis on it, and then you encourage wrestling in the tackle to slow that down. So it's an important part of the game that has to be done correctly.
Just do it like Jamie Peacock does then, make the attempt.
Good offload there by Senior. Leeds really want to start thinking about kicking early in the tackle count. They did it at the first 5 minutes and got good ground forward.
Loose pass from Senior. Henry Jones Buchanan gets it under pressure from Mogg, gives it to Maguire. Maguire's on the way. Cut down though by the tackle. Good race back by David Ferriol. Here goes Diskin! And that was played backwards. Whoa! Jean-Philippe Bale managed to get to that. They suddenly pressed the panic button then.
Well, it's as though they've said we're the entertainers, both of us. Look at this. Whoa! He just got back in the big fella. Jean-Philippe Bale. It's all action. It's all go out there.
This is a totally different Catalan side, Paul, isn't it, than the one we've seen the last couple of weeks in the playoffs?
Definitely, you know, there's so much enthusiasm from the Catalan side. I think Kevin Walters will be thrilled with that, but a bit disappointed with the lack of patience that they've shown, certainly in the Leeds red zone. You know, creating so many opportunities, but just finishing with an error.
Prop forward, David Ferriol thumps the ball downfield, and Brent Webb collects it underneath his own sticks.
Well, I'm not so sure that was in the game plan, but they got away with it. Oh, he nearly got away there, Donald.
He nearly did, but Dimitri Pello did just enough, and then the other 3 came in and finished him off, and Leeds get another penalty.
Well, he's warned them. He's got to now say, I'm going to dip into the pocket for the card here, and if we need to have the next one.
Come on, lads. Come on, Remy.
This is Ian Kirk for the Leeds Rhinos. Plays it on halfway to Diskin. He finds Burrow. This Bailey.
Surrender!
A couple of big changes there. Carlaw and Casti coming on. Sinfield. Back he comes to Maguire. Bosk did very well, flew out of the line, held on to him somehow. Pello against Donald.
And that's their style. They do come out of that line. They try to force Leeds down the middle, just like they did against Huddersfield last week.
Luke Burgess gets the ball away to Diskin. Now the direction of the attack changes. Here's Burrow down the line, looking for Ryan Hall.
Not the best kick, though. It was virtually going towards Greenshield as soon as it left his boot.
Oh, Luke. Oh, Ryan.
There's a battle-scarred Jamie Peacock.
They look a bit worried, don't they, Leeds, at the moment?
They've every right to be. They only hold a 2-point lead, and there's been some tremendous football from both sides.
This is Carlaw, Dane Carlaw. Memorable 50th appearance for the Catalans against Huddersfield last week.
Ian. 40.
He kick over the top, but it's not going to find touch, but it might be better than that. Oh, Ryan Hall just managed to apply the brakes.
Leeds don't play against many sides who are able to send big men off the bench who can make an impact. Catalan have done that. We've just seen Dane Carlaw come on with a massive carry and a very good tackle there too on Webb. That's the difference here tonight. Catalan come back to the impact that Leeds substitutes bench very often provides for the Rhinos.
I wonder how much they will miss Ali Lautiti tonight.
Well, he turned the game, didn't he? When they were struggling, remember, against Hull Kingston Rovers. He was a catalyst to their success on that particular night.
Well, they take no prisoners, the Catalan Dragons. This is Maguire. Still Maguire, gets it away to Sinfield. Great ball over the top to Luke Burgess. And he continues the movement on to Diskin.
This deserved a try.
Diskin again. They've got them for the penalty. That was a bit of a high swish on that Diskin.
Now then, will they take the two? I think Brian McLennan wouldn't surprise me. It was nothing malicious, but it was certainly high. But full credit, though, to the Rhinos keeping the ball alive. They've gone for the tap.
They have, and they're on the way with Luke Burgess. Brother Sam, of course, has agreed to leave the Bradford Bulls this week and join South Sydney in the NRL next year. Burrow tormenting them. Great ball over the top to Ryan Hall, who will not be stopped from that range. Super League's top try scorer this year. His try against Hull Kingston Rovers was the 30th of the year in all competitions. This is his 30th in the Super League. Leeds Rhinos and Ryan Hall increase the lead.
That's the tactics that Brian McLennan needed. Get the ball out wide with a long pass. If you're going to break down a sliding defence that's coming in on the angle, you just throw out the long ball. And you mentioned the great John Holmes, Eddie. John Holmes was superlative with a long ball. Get it out very quickly. And that's exactly what this came about. Look at that. Sensational. Duport had come in into the centre, it left the gap. And Ryan Hall, like he's done all season, has finished up in this wonderful manner. Boy, they needed that.
And he's managed to score tries in all 4 meetings against the Catalan Dragons this year, has Ryan Hall. 30 in Super League, 31 in all now.
You know, it's as if great ball players can put a magnet in the ball that draws players towards them. You saw Vincent Duport there. You don't know what it was. They weren't short of numbers, but he was attracted to come in so quickly. And the vision then from Burrow, as I say, a great play with the ball in hands, who were able to expose the player and deliver the pass.
Super League's top goal kicker in 2009, 2008 and 2007. Kevin Sinfield misses with the conversion attempt. Jean-Philippe Bale, meanwhile, is the latest man to be patched up and tipped out there again. But there's the try scorer, Ryan Hall. He's only 21 years of age and sure to feature in the Four Nations come the end of the year.
You're going to have to change your shirt.
Well, I must say, Brian McLennan, the Rhinos coach, would have been very happy with the fact they turned down the chance to take the 2 points. He said, we'll take the tap, get on with it.
Jean-Philippe Bale has been sent to the sideline to change his jersey, because that has got blood spattered on it as well. Bit of a tight fit.
Well, that's how they wear them these days, Eddie. They don't want to have loose garments, so that... Oh, nearly went into it. Good job that Maguire just stopped then.
Well, he learned the error of his ways, didn't he, from the earlier kick-off. He was determined to get to that with his hands. Here goes Burgess again. That's a great tackle.
Great stuff. I must say, since the introduction of Luke Burgess, He's done exceptionally well. Some good hard work up front and some good offloads. Nice work from Kirk too.
10-4, 5 minutes to half-time. The grand final beckons for Leeds, beckons for the Catalan Dragons. Those are all the numbers you need. Here's Jamie Jones Buchanan. Oh, an important ankle tap by Green Shields. Gets it away to Hall. 2 in 2 minutes for Ryan Hall. Well, the grand final is beckoning the champions again now. I don't think they'll need the phone number. I don't think they'll need the website. All they need, if they continue in this mood, is a bus that will take them across the Pennines and up Sir Matt Busby Way. Ryan Hall's second try in as many minutes, and that could be a crucial intervention by the winger.
You're spot on, Eddie, and the tactics of keeping the ball alive. Good running from dummy half. It was a good offload there from Sinfield. Jamie Jones Buchanan through the dummy. He was looking for glory, and then Green Shields just ankle tapped him, but had enough sense. Offload. Talk about positioning by a winger. It doesn't come better than what you're going to witness now from Ryan Hall. Great offload there. Good work by Green Shields. This had 6 points all over it. He was heading for the post, but he had the nerve. But also this man had the position. As Eddie mentioned, 2 in 2. Boy, a bitter blow to the French side. Can he add them?
He has this time from almost exactly the same position as 2 minutes ago. It's 16 points to 4 to the Leeds Rhinos. Looking at that scoreline, Kevin Walters, it's a little bit unkind on the Catalan Dragons, but the attacking prowess of the champions, absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, and they kept the ball alive, and that has been their key factor, is that they've been hunting, twisting in the tackle. The one thing that the Catalans do, they stay as a unit in defence, so that means that no one goes out and tries to go, and the way that Leeds are twisting, turning, they've got support through, and you couldn't wish for any better support than that from Jamie Jones Buchanan, and then finished up by Ryan Hall.
One of the Dragons' problems in that previous set, Eddie, they had Jean-Philippe Bale still changing his shirt on the left-hand side. Players over there covering for him, and they weren't able to compensate on this right side, where Leeds finally exposed them after 3 tackles. That's how good Leeds see this pitch.
Look at that pass out wide to Scott Donald, and Scott Donald will hack it forward. Here is Maguire. Oh, yes! What a try! What a try from Leeds! One end of the field to the other. A 100-metre try. Absolutely magnificent. Well, they pay good money to watch this, and that was out of the top draw. 3 in about 5 minutes. And Danny Maguire, it's his second try of the night as well. The pass out wide was sublime, the kick was wonderful, and the race forward. Watch it again.
We pinpointed the fact before the game started that Kevin Sinfield's long passing game would be so effective. But what about the kick from Scott Donald? The positioning by Maguire. Try number 2. Absolutely superb. We mention it time and time again. You will break down a sliding defence with either a long pass out wide, and that's what happened. But the kick from Donald, I didn't know that winger had it in him. That could be classified as the try of the season.
Sinfield does not miss from that range, but it's gone from 6-4 to 22-4 in 4 breathtaking minutes.
And that shows you the quality of this Rhinos outfit. Maguire is on fire, but the kicking game from this fella, Scott Donald. You know, many a winger would have said possession is vital. We're holding a 16-4 lead, and then he said, no, let's give it the boot. Let's get more points.
I was going to say, if it had gone to one of the catching players rather than Ryan Hall, it wouldn't have surprised me if they've actually kicked over the defensive line again there from the kickoff. They are on such a roll. The vision, I spoke before the game about whether Catalan were fast enough to win this match. I probably should have emphasised you also need to complement the skills that Leeds have as well as the speed. They do think quicker than their opponents, but they also do it at times far better.
Well, that was breathtaking. That last try from Danny Maguire was just outstanding. And it's just snuffed the Catalan Dragons' threat out.
And full credit to Brian McLennan, the coach. They were being slowly but surely sucked into an arm wrestle. They were giving away penalties. They were wanting to get their own back. They wanted to get a little bit of high shots every now and again. But then they changed the tactics, and boy, they've ripped Catalan apart.
Well, they roll up in numbers every time the Leeds Rhinos play here. And that burst of try-scoring, first from Ryan Hall, then from Ryan Hall, and then from Danny Maguire in the last 4 minutes of that first half. That really is the reason why. An outstanding attacking unit, and well, they're pretty big in defence, but what a first half from the Catalan Dragons, to be fair. They gave Leeds a real shock, didn't they, when they hit back? They were 6-4 behind, but suddenly the game has run away from them. 2 from Hall and 2 from Maguire.